Alrighty, good morning. Welcome back. I hope your spring spring break was restful. We're going to start back. We're going to continue on from where we ended before the break. We're going to start with empirical formula today. Just a reminder that you need to make sure that you complete the attendance form. That you watch the video and then copy the questions at the end. Once you do that, you need to show your work and answer them, circle your answer, and then load it to Classroom. Make sure when you take a picture of it, that you have it straight, just like the paper that I have here. If it is slanted and I can't read your answers, then you will not get credit for it. Make sure that you highlight or circle your answer, whichever one. That way I don't have to look everywhere for it. Anyway, you need to make sure each day that you do this, because you do not want a 0 for your assignments. There are quite a few of y'all before the break that have 0s, and therefore it has dropped your grade, especially with classwork, homework being 70% of your grade, and then quizzes and tests or projects are 30%. So they have switched them around. So if you don't do the regular daily work like this, it's going to hurt your grade tremendously. So anyway, we're going to start with empirical formula. It's the smallest whole number ratio of atoms in a compound. For example, you have H2O. These numbers that are behind it is the mole ratio. So you have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Remember, you do not have to write the 1. So to calculate it, you have different steps. The first one, you're going to convert grams of each substance to moles. If you're given percent composition, you're going to assume it's a 100-gram sample. You're going to divide each mole by the smallest mole to get the mole ratio. And yes, that's a lot of M's in there. And then number 3, if the ratio is not a whole number, then you're going to multiply. So for example, if you get 1.5, I need a whole number. So you'd multiply that by 2 to get 3. So the first sample is a sample made of 25.9 grams of nitrogen and 74.1 grams of oxygen. You're going to determine the empirical formula for this compound. So I'm going to go step by step. So step 1, you're going to write down what I give you. So you have nitrogen, which is 25.9 grams. And then you have oxygen, which is 74.1. You're going to do the same thing we did before the break. You're converting grams to moles. The only thing, this is just a one-step problem for this, because you're not having to find the molar mass, because it's just the atomic mass from the periodic table. So remember, mole goes on top here. And then your atomic mass for nitrogen is 14.01. And then down here, you have 1 mole oxygen, and it's 16.00 grams. So all you have to do is mark out your grams so that you know your answer is in moles. So whenever you divide, for this one, you get 1.83 moles of nitrogen, and this one you get 4.63 moles of oxygen. So that's step 1. Going to move it up a little bit. All right, step 2. This is where you're going to take each of these and divide by the smallest ratio, or smallest mole, to get your mole ratio. So your smallest number is 1.83. So you have 1.83 moles of nitrogen, and then you have 4.63 moles of oxygen. And again, divide by the smallest one. So 1.83 is your smallest. And obviously, dividing that one out, you get 1. So you get 1 nitrogen. Whenever you divide this one, you get 2.5 oxygen. All right, so right here we know that we've got to make this a whole number. So that's going to be step 3. So I've got 1 nitrogen and 2.5 oxygen. So I'm going to have to multiply, since this is 0.5, I'm going to have to multiply it by 2. And since it's going to be a compound, I have to do both by 2. So this one gives you 2 nitrogen, and this one gives you 5 oxygen. So then this number here actually now goes behind each of the letters to give you your compound. So you have 2 nitrogen. Make sure you write them as a subscript. Don't put them up here. Don't put them as big numbers. And then 5 oxygen. And then you'd circle, highlight, anything. Just make sure I can see your answer. Okay? So we're going to do one more sample, and then I'm going to put the practice problems up. And the second one is sample number 2. You have a compound has the following percent composition. Remember, percent composition is the same as grams. So you have 94.1% oxygen and 5.90% hydrogen. Determine the empirical formula. This one, the first one I did 3 steps. This one I'm going to combine one of the steps. You can do either one, whatever works for you. So step 1 is the same. So you have, and I so messed up there, excuse me. You have oxygen and you have hydrogen. I don't know why I was trying to write nitrogen again. So with oxygen, you have 94.1. Remember, this is grams now of oxygen. And this one you have 5.90 grams of hydrogen. Again, you're going to convert to moles. So you have 1 mole here, 1 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of hydrogen. Divide by its atomic mass, which is 16. And this one's 1.01. And remember, again, you can mark out your grams. I open my pen. And when you divide, you get 5.88 moles of oxygen. It's Monday, y'all. And 5.85 moles of hydrogen. All right, this one, the numbers are really close, but I still have to divide by the smallest one. So I'm going to divide by 5.85. And with both of these, I'm going to get 1. So see right here, I combined steps 1 and 2 because I went ahead and did my division over here. Do whatever works for you. So then whenever you go to write the formula, since it's 1, it's just OH. Do not put the ones behind them. If it's 1, just put the letter. So anyway, I'm getting ready to put the problems up there for you to do. Make sure you copy them, work out your problem, write your answer, circle, highlight your answers, make sure I can see it. Make sure you take a straight picture of it, upload it to the assignment, and turn it in. Remember, it's due by 10 p.m. tonight. If you have questions, you can email me, send me a message through Classroom, or you can send me a message through Remind. Anyway, hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. And I'm going to put the problems up here now that I forgot to do the first time I did the video. So anyway, I wrote the instructions up there. Copy them. There's 7 of them. It shouldn't take you that long because you're not having to find molar mass or anything. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all again tomorrow.